Kevin here from Toying Around. I'm here with Cal Dodd, who is the voice of Wolverine from X-Men the Animated Series. How's it going?
Excellent. This is New York City, you kidding? And I'm here. This is really beautiful.
I'm here from Canada.
Are you?
Yes.
No, I am.
Well, we could both be. We can both be.
Okay, I'll let you be from Canada too.
Wolverine allows
Where
it.
are you from?
I'm from Markham.
Markham?
Just north of Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
Right. So, a lot of people don't know. A lot of the voice actors back then, there was a company that they hired in Canada to do X-Men the Animated Series, right?
All the X-Men are Canadian.
Right.
All of us. None of us knew what the show was. Never heard of it before the audition. Any of us. It's true. My audition was ridiculous. I went in and they showed me a picture of Wolverine, and I said, yeah. And they said he's 5'3". The people were from LA and New York, the directors and writers, and we're in Toronto. And they said, yeah, he's about 5'3", tough as nails, doesn't take crap from anyone, has a big heart, and he's grumpy a lot of the time. I said, oh, typecasting. So then they gave me a line. So I said, who do you think he sounds like? And they said, Clint Eastwood, of course. And I went, go ahead, make that quiet voice that he had.
Right.
And the line they gave me, I read it, and I said, this has got to be yelled, this line. And they said, yeah, probably. I said, who's it addressed to? I said, well, Clint Eastwood, I've never heard him yell. So he said, well, you're right. So I said, who's it addressed to? He said, Sabretooth. And I said, I'm Wolverine, and there's a Sabretooth. Is this an animal movie? No, an animal cartoon? Well, they're laughing like you.
Yeah.
when they finished laughing, I said, well, what's? He said, no, they're mutants. And I said, my answer was, what the hell's a mutant?
As if that cleared it up for you?
Oh yeah, what the hell's a mutant? And they're all like this. Oh geez, who sent this idiot in? Anyway, so I said, okay, so what about Sabretooth? He said, well, you hate him. You never do anything but fight with him. You are mortal enemies. I said, lovely. So this is the first line that I ever read verbatim, right, first line from my audition. All right, you egg-sucking piece of gutter trash. You always did like pushing around people shorter than you. Well, I'm shorter. Try pushing me. Ow! And they just went, holy shit. Holy poop. Give him more lines, which I did for the next 10 minutes. And then they said, okay, that's terrific, you can go. And they phoned me the next day, and would you like to be Wolverine? I said, I don't know, let me check my calendar. I said, of course.
Right.
And here we are today in New York City, Markham, Toronto.
The channel, we talk about a lot of collectibles. X-Men stuff is very popular with X-Men 97 coming up.
Yeah.
But what is it like? Because that cartoon, I think, brought a lot of fans into that world, and kind of set us on this path all these years later. What's it like when people come up to you, grown men, much as myself, like I pose to be, but to be like, you're such an inspirational or huge part of their childhood, playing a character like that.
And everyone that comes to the table, bar none, guys, they're 40, 45, whatever, that were younger, much younger, they now have children named Logan. So many of them, it's ridiculous. No, it's true. And they, to a person, they all say, thank you for my childhood. You made my childhood. And a lot of them say, you saved my life in many cases, the X-Men series, because there are a lot of autistic children. People come up to me and they say, you saved my life. And there's a wonderful story about this guy that came up, autistic. He had his little girl with him, and he was dressed in black, and he had these claws on. And I knew that he had memorized it, and he just stood in front of my table. His girl was here. She was about 10. And he said, my name is, whatever his name was. He said, I'm autistic, and so is my daughter here. And I was picked on at school terribly, called names and stuff because of my autism. And I thought seriously of taking my life. And he said, I was so close. And then I just remembered the X-Men have fought, and that's the way they're living. They were always picked on and stuff and not accepted in society. And so I just decided, I was like ready to jump off the roof. And I just said, Wolverine wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do. He said, I got down and I'm here today, and my daughter's here today because of you and the X-Men. Well, holy crap. What do you say to that?
What can you do?
He finished his thing, and he said, thank you so much. And I put my hand out, took my cloth off, And he had cloths on, I told you. And I put my hand on, and he went like this, took his cloth very slowly, and put his hand out and shook my hand. And with that, he just like swiftly turned around. He and his daughter marched off. This woman literally comes running up to the stage in tears, and she said, I can't believe what I just saw. I said, why? I'm sorry. I said, that's my husband and my daughter. He has never, because of his autism, never touched another person's hand. And he shook your hand because you're Wolverine. And I said, oh, that's the impact that this show had on people. And I just love what I'm doing, this stuff now, and these Comic-Cons.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's for a kids' cartoon. It had very... Sorry?
It's red, the button.
Record. Yeah, it's recording. No, for a kids' cartoon, it had very mature themes, but it definitely, talked about being outcast. And I think it's weird that there's a lot of comic fans who don't see that theme and try to be more, I don't know, try to accepting and open of everybody. But to hear a story like that, it's really hard.
I know. And we don't call it a cartoon. It's like, no, this is an animated series.
Yes, animated.
But I know, but everyone, now we've convinced so many people it's not a cartoon. Because it's like, the stuff that the show addressed too, the issues, were amazing. And they never wrote down to children. They just treated them like this is going to happen to you soon. When Morph was killed in the second episode, they went crazy, the fans. Yeah. Couldn't believe you'd do that. And he said, they're gonna lose their dog, or their favorite pet, their aunt or their uncle is gonna die in your family, and this is just telling them, because Fox said you can't do that. You can't. We are, and we did, and bless them for doing that. I mean, they didn't write down to children, and the children loved that.
That's incredible. I follow you on social media, and it's cool that you tour, you go to a lot of shows, and you get to spread that kind of joy with everybody in that experience.
That's the reason I do it.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much for chatting with us, and I'm so great to meet you.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you.